Alright, section 4.4 is factoring, but with some different styles and also solving, just like the last section. Starting off with question 1, if you notice, if we try to factor this, we have 3 terms with no GCF, but unlike the last section, we have a 5 out in front of this x squared. Okay, so if we have a 5 or any number out in front of this x squared besides 1, we have to do this a little bit different. Okay, and if you follow the steps here, it works every time. Multiply the first and the last number, 5 and 6, and you get 30. List out all the factors of 30. 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. That's all there is. From here we say, well, what factors are going to get me 17? Well, 2 and 15 will get me 17. So I want to rewrite this problem, okay? And I want to rewrite it to where it's equivalent to what I have from the very start. So 5x squared is going to be the same. I know that 2 and 15 will get me 7, or 17. And if I write it like this, with a plus 6 at the end still, if I were to combine these like terms, negative 2 minus 15, I would still get negative 17. So all I did was I just found 2 terms that were equivalent, and you'll see why it works out here in a little bit. So now we can do this by grouping. Group the 2 first and the 2 last terms and work with the greatest common factors, which we're going to do in problem 3 and 4. So between 5 and 2, there's no number that I can take out, but between x squared and x, I can take out an x. So what I have left inside is 5x minus 2. Similar over here, between negative 15 and 6, I can take out a 3. And since I want this 5x minus 2 to be the same over here, I'm going to take out a negative 3. So now negative 15 divided by negative 3 is 5. The x stays inside. 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. And if you'll notice, this should work out every time. Okay, you should have 2 things here that are identical. The last step is just to kind of group them together. So x minus 3 is going to be in the parentheses by itself, and then the 5x minus 2 kind of comes together as 1, and that's your answer. Okay, same thing with the next problem. I have no GCF. I've got a 3 out in front of this x squared, so I multiply the first and the last term. 3 times 7 is 21. List out my factors. I'm looking to see which ones will get me 20 by subtracting. And 1 and 21 are the only ones that will. So if I rewrite this, to make it equivalent, this 21 needs to be positive, and this 1 needs to be negative. That way when I combine like terms, 21 minus 1 is 20. So now I'll do the same thing. Group the 2 first terms, group the 2 last terms. Between 3 and 21, I can take a 3 out. Between x squared and x, I can take an x out. And left inside is x plus 7. Well, over here, it's kind of close, but I need to get rid of a negative. So I need to take out a negative 1. And when I do that, I have x plus 7 left inside. And just like the last problem, group the 3x minus 1 together. The x plus 7s are the same, so group them together, and you have your final answer. Next 2 problems, we have a GCF. Okay, these are a little bit different. We haven't done one like these before. But between 5x squared and 45, you notice that 5 can go into both of those numbers. 45 divided by 5 is 9. And if you look at this even further, inside parentheses we can also factor. This is just like the last chapter. If I take that, I get x plus 3, x minus 3, because the square root of 9 is 3. Question 4. Look for a GCF. Well, between 12, 21, and 3, I know 3 is my smallest number, and 3 goes into all of those. So if I take a 3 out, I'm going to have 4p squared minus 7p plus 1. Let's see if this can go any further. Let's multiply the first and the last. I get 4. And if I look at this, the only factors are 1 and 4, 2 and 2, and there is nothing that will get me 7. So this is actually my final answer. I cannot take this any further. Last two problems, similar to the first two, except for now we have them set equal to 0. So let's do these rather quickly because I'm running out of time. No GCF, multiply the first and the last to get 24. List out all possible factors, and you can stop here at 2 and 12. You don't have to list all of them because we're looking at the ones that will subtract to get me 10. And 2 and 12 subtract to get me 10. So if I rewrite this problem, I want the 12 to be positive and the 2 to be negative, so I get 10. And I factor it by grouping. So I group my two first terms, my two last terms, take out a 3 and an x over here. So what I have left inside is x plus 4. Take out a negative 2 over here, and I have an x plus 4 left inside. Group my items together, set equal to 0, and solve. And when you do that, you get 3x equals 2, so x equals 2/3. Subtract 4 and you get x equals -4.